Hey guys, so I'm out here in the garage. I'm working on the T-tops here, and I'm working on putting the door rubber and the rubber around the T-tops. And I ran into something I forgot about from my last car, but I want to show you in case you decide to do this. This is something that it took a little finesse, and so there's a little piece inside here. When you take the screws out that holds the T-top pin in, there's a little piece back there that's loose. So you got to kind of dig it out, stick some magnets on it, and get it back into place, and go from there. So let's take a quick look. All right. So if you see, so right here, let's look at the other side. You see this piece right here? This little piece of metal, and that's where the T-top pins. When you pull the handle, pin goes in here, and there's another one. Where am I at? There's another one. It's right here. You had to take it out to put the new rubber in. Well, when you unscrew these two screws to hold it in, you can see this little piece in here just kind of floats around. It's not connected. I don't know if it's supposed to be connected, and the weld broke after all these years, but oops, and I just, what do? I just knocked the screw in, so I'm going to have to get my, what I did was I got these little picks, just a little pick, and I stuck it in there and fished that out. I got a magnet, kind of hold it in place, and so I'm going to put the rubber back on, and it goes in this door track. I'm going to put the rubber back on, and I'm going to hold on to that screw and hold that out while I screw the other one in. Then I'll pull this one out, put the pin in, and put the little plate back on, and then we'll screw that in. So let's give that a try. All right, so here's what I did. I held this little bolt, or this screw, I just held it tight, and then lined up this one through here, and it got it relatively tight. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to unscrew this one, push this down, and then put the screw back in and screw it down tight. And then we'll finish lining up the rest of the rubber down the bottom of the door. And then right at the bottom, there's a screw it goes in one of these two holes. We'll figure out which one, probably this one. And we'll put that back in, and then we'll do the same to the other side. All right, so there you have it. So that's back in, it's good and tight. And then this little piece, this trim piece, it holds the headliner in, and there's a little lip on the inside of this rubber. It goes down, and this just snaps back over top of it. And then this actually fits, there's a track. It's a channel right here, and the rubber actually fits right inside the channel. And then it screws in. Put the screw in this rubber when you buy it from Classic Auto Reproduction. It actually comes with this this new screw, and it seems to fit pretty nice. Now, the other one was completely rotted away, so when the door shuts on here, it's going to shut pretty nice. And I also have glued the, it's kind of a, if you can have some help putting this strip, this new weather strip in the back, it wouldn't hurt to have somebody help you. It's kind of a pain in the ass because it wants to spin and twist, but I got it in place. It's all glued down, and I got some, as you can see, I got some tape on there just to hold it till it dries. So once this piece has come up, I'll have to put that back down. The corners are kind of a pain. It would, instead of tape, it'd be better to have some kind of a clamp on here, like a spring clamp. That would help. I have some of them, but they're actually around my swimming pool holding the cover down. So, and I can't really take those off right now. Actually, I probably could. There's enough snow and ice on top of it to hold the cover down, so maybe I'll do that. But you can see I got this. So these are all taped down, and tomorrow that should be plenty dry. And then I can put the, I'm gonna have my buddy come over and help me. We're gonna lift the lid, put this back on, and then I can get the louvers on and get the 3-piece spoiler mounted on, and that'll be nice. We'll get that going. So you can see I got the taillights in. They're all painted. The side marker lights down there, I came over here, and they're painted just like I painted the front one. And those side pieces I told you that I made, these pieces right here are gonna go, they're gonna go right there. And then all this is going to be painted just to match this. I think that color looks pretty good. It's a little lighter than the wheel, but it looks, it's going to look pretty cool in there. This trim looks good. And then I'll have, obviously, the louvers will be here. The louvers will be on the back. It's looking pretty good. Once I get all this T-top, I'll do another video when I start putting all the rest of the rubber around here and getting the T-tops ready. And then you can see the inside of this T-top, I have to put it all back together and put the plastic on. So, and it looks like, I'm not sure, I might be missing some rubber around the T-top itself. Maybe it doesn't have rubber. Maybe it's just the rubber on the top of the car. So we'll look into that. Okay, so here's the other side. Okay, we're going to take this off this side and then pull all this dry rotted rubber off. And here's the new pieces. One for one side, one for the other. And then this roll goes around. It goes inside the T-top area here. So we'll get that in there. So let's take this apart and we'll peel all this down and then put the new rubber in there. So as it turns out, this is exactly the same. So since I already knew that, I knew that piece would move around. Well, I thought it might. So I went ahead and pulled one out, spun the thing, spun this piece up, and then stuck the screw back in it to hold this in place so I don't have to go fishing around for it. So, and then when I put the new rubber back on, we'll do the exact same thing as we did on the other side. So we'll get the rubber in, run it down the channel, and it screws in the bottom. There's this piece here goes at the bottom, and there just happens to be holes down there. There's a hole here and one underneath, and it comes with the screws. So let's give that a shot. All right, so that piece is in, and now this piece of rubber didn't have any holes like the other side did, so I had to make my own. But so this rubber goes up and it sits down, and this push it back in place, and then this just pops right in a track. It just goes a track that goes right down, and there's one screw there, and then there's a screw behind it. So you have to put this end in first, screw it down, because when this is down, you can access the other screw. So that'll go there, and looks like I'm gonna have a little bit of touch up from the door jamb from when the other piece was it was bigger. So we'll just spray that, and you won't even ever notice it. And once the door panels are on, you'll never see any of this orange. So we'll just do a little touch up there, and there's rubber that goes around here, so, or that kick panel that goes here, so you'll never notice any of that. Once this car is all put back together, you'll see no orange. And so that goes there. So let's look into putting the rest of this rubber in. All right, so the remember this ring that goes, this chrome trim that goes around, which I'm not mounting it down just yet because it's actually going to be painted the gray. I'm going to paint this gray. But so let's just, and then I'm going to put some small, these were all riveted in, so the holes are still there. You can see, you can line the holes back up, and I'll just pop rivet them all back together. I could put some small sheet metal screws, or I could just pop rivet them all back in the way they were, because I had to drill them all out to start with. Now, originally there's like a felt. There's felt that goes around here. I'm gonna have to look to see if I can get that. I don't know if Classic Auto Reproductions has the felt that sticks on this or not. And then that's what the T-top, when it goes down, it slides in between the rubber and the felt right there. So, but let me pull this off for a minute. We'll set that down. Okay, so basically here's the rubber, okay? I am gonna glue it down, but right now it's just sitting in here, and it just kind of sits, and it fits perfect. It goes right in this track right here. Fits perfect, and it just, and this piece tapers down real thin. Look, and it just kind of fits right in there. So this kind of, the window, what we just put in, it goes up and it tapers down, and it fits right on this rail here. And then this comes around and it tapers down into real thin. So, and we're gonna do the same. So that'll, I'm just gonna put a bead of glue, and we're gonna glue that down, and then I'm gonna paint the trim that goes around it, and then we'll put it in, we'll pop rivet it in. And don't forget, when you put that trim down, there's one more piece. There's one more piece that goes right over top of here, and that is the piece that the T-top goes underneath. That's what holds it down. So when you put that trim ring back on, there's another piece. It's a lip that kind of sticks out about this far. So when you slide the T-top in, the piece of glass goes underneath of there, and then you push it down and you lift the handle, and then the pins go into there and hold it down. So important, you don't forget about that trim, that piece that goes on here. I have it in the other room. So I'm going to sand it. I'm going to scuff up those trim, and we're going to put them back on. And this side will be done, and then wash, rinse, repeat. Do the other side. Piece of cake. Okay, so there's one more piece to this puzzle, and that's this. This kit comes with one more piece, and this is the actual T-top. So obviously this all gets covered up with plastic. There's a plastic piece that goes around that's white, so it looks nice. And then we'll get this all cleaned up and sand it down so it fits real nice. And then it's just one more piece of rubber that fits in this track. Just pull it out. It's pretty. This thing's all cracked. It's falling apart. It's dry rotted. So that's broken. It's so dry rotted it just cracks and crumbles. So we'll pull the rest of that out, and we'll stick the nice new soft one in. Well, that couldn't have been any easier. Rip that other one out. This just pops right in the track. It goes right in there. And then you can see this is where when the window comes up, the window seals right inside this little groove right here. So that went in. That was so easy. Popped in. So then we'll put the cover back on. Like I said, we'll get these edges cleaned up, get the T-tops. They'll be back on in no time. So really, the whole apparatus wasn't too bad. All right, guys. So I appreciate you checking out my latest video, putting the T-top trim in, and I am working on the back panels that go in the back here, and we'll show you what I'm thinking about. I'm having trouble finding the actual color. I mean, I could have some made, but somebody suggested to me that I wrap all the panels in like a white or like an off-white carbon fiber look. So that'd be kind of cool. So the only problem is those inside panels are so chalky and dry rotted. You know, I don't know that the wrap material would stick too well on it, but we may give that a try. I can't believe I didn't even think of it, because I'm in the business of you know, vinyl and wraps and all that stuff, but it's usually just the outside of the cars and stuff like that. I never really thought about wrapping the interior panels with it, so maybe we'll give that a shot. So once again, I appreciate you checking this out. We'll keep going, we'll keep working. The T-tops are pretty much done. The trim, this is done. I'm going to get the, like I said, get the hatch on, and then we're going to work on getting the rest of the interior back together, get the carpet in, get the seats mounted, get everything like that in. That should be going pretty good. So I appreciate you watching again. Thanks. Make sure you tell all your friends. Like it, tag it, share it, click it, bump it, whatever you got to do. Take it easy.